So Florentino Perez has come out in an interview saying that he's going to bring in a superstar for Real Madrid. He's going to put a bid in worth 150 million euros. So the thing is, the news reports are pointing towards two players, and the two players are both players who play for PSG. It's João Neves and it's Vitinha. Now the thing about both of them being in PSG, there have always been reports that Real Madrid and PSG's relationship is not good and that PSG don't want to sell players to Real Madrid. Now there have also come out some new news reports saying that PSG's owner, president, I don't know what he is, has a good relationship with Perez. Now this one is shocking, but this should go hand in hand with the fact that Perez might bring in one of those two players. Both of those players are also represented by Jorge Mendes. Jorge Mendes was responsible for players like James Rodriguez, Cristiano Ronaldo, for players like that joining Real Madrid. He was their agent. Now he's the agent of both Vitinha and João Neves. And he has a good relationship with Perez as well. Who's gonna sign? And I'm gonna go with Vitinha. Now the reason why I'm choosing Vitinha is Perez said superstar. João Neves isn't necessarily a superstar just yet. And if I compare João Neves to Vitinha, Vitinha is better. He is considered the superstar. But I could still be wrong because Perez could just view João Neves as a superstar. But I'm gonna choose Vitinha for this. So why is Vitinha so special? That's probably the question you ask. I know many of you guys, you hear Vitinha constantly. Maybe some of you guys don't know how he plays or don't know what's so good about him. So let me explain. He is the definition of a complete midfielder. He is complete. He is good in every single aspect. He has so little weaknesses. We're gonna get into his weaknesses, but the positives in him and his strengths outweigh his weaknesses. This guy is unbelievably pressure resistant. Matter of fact, I think he's one of the most pressure resistant players in the world of football today. I know we had Toni Kroos about 2 years ago. He's retired now, so Vitinha is like the Toni Kroos of today. And if we sign him, he's going to fulfill that role that Toni Kroos had. Toni Kroos was a tempo controller. He would put in long balls. And he was sensational at it. He was the best at it. Vitinha is his replacement. We finally found his replacement. So Vitinha is pressure resistant. And I think his best moments where it shows and his best football comes against when his opponent is pressurizing him. Like, let's look at this match against Liverpool, PSG against Liverpool. This was in the knockout stages at Anfield. A roaring crowd, a bunch of Liverpool players were just pressing like crazy, pressurizing the opposition. And Vitinha had one of his best displays of his career. Why is that so? Because that is who he thrives against. He's so pressure resistant. His best plays come against that type of opponents. The opponents that other players will fear. Literally, players fear Liverpool, they fear Bayern Munich, they fear PSG. Why? Because they are high-pressing teams. Vitinha seems like he likes to go up against it because he always performs against teams like that. And that is the type of player we need in the team. We need a player that is not going to be affected by the crowd, not going to be affected by the players pressurizing him. He's going to stay cool, calm, collected, and he's still going to put on his display, his best football, and still enjoy the football that he's playing. Now another thing he does, which is also similar to Kroos, is he controls the tempo. This guy, he dictates the way the football is going to be played for PSG. Oftentimes, actually most of the time, they're passing to him, hoping for him to do something, hoping for him to dictate the flow of the match. When it comes to slowing the game down, Vitinha does it. And once he slows the game down, the entire match has to slow down. The opposition have to slow down, his teammates have to slow down, and he dictates whatever's gonna happen. He also influences PSG when they're aggressive. When they need to attack, he influences it. When he feels like, okay, we need to change up, we don't have to play so slow anymore, he progresses the ball and he makes it fast again. And he's the best at it. The only player that is even near to him in today's day and age is Pedri. But even Pedri is not on Vitinha's level. Vitinha is the best at this. Then we move on to his passing range. This guy, his long range and short range passing is elite. I don't have much to say about it. You can see it for yourself here in these clips. His passing is great. His vision is great. And he unlocks Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, Doué. Those are players that are quite similar to Vinny and Mbappe. They're not tall strikers that are going to head the ball in. They are runners. Mbappe and Vinny are very fast players. Vitinha's balls, that sneaky passes he can put in, that's going to be so vital when he has to play behind Mbappe and Vinny. Not to mention the fact that he rarely gets injured. I never see this guy get injured. Now I hope he doesn't join Real Madrid and then get injured. That seems to happen to a lot of players. But Vitinha, fantastic also in the big matches. He won man of the match against Arsenal. 2 Champions Leagues in his career. This guy is set already to join Real Madrid. Put in that 150 million euro bid. I think PSG is gonna reject it obviously. Because his worth is 140 million, they might have to spend way more than that. But if they were to sign João Neves, he's 110 million. That 150 million bid could make more sense to sign him than to sign Vitinha. Now the thing is, people also criticize him quite a lot. The people call him a side pass merchant. They call him a boring player. Watching him is so boring. Matter of fact, this performance I'm showing you here, he got criticized a lot for this performance. Which, if you're watching, you're thinking, okay, he's doing normal. He's just passing around. But this was one of his mid performances in my opinion. Wasn't a bad performance. This was for Portugal. And he was just doing side passes whole match. Just side passes. And I think he's a player that also adjusts. When it comes to matches that aren't important, like the friendlies, like this match, he doesn't play too hard. When it comes to the big matches, that is when he shines. So even though this wasn't his best performance, you can look at it also in a way that he is smart. He's trying to preserve himself, not trying to do too much and get injured possibly. And a weakness, and this is only one weakness I can truly find in Vitinha, is he's not a physical beast. He's not like a super physical player, and the only way to truly get the absolute best out of him is to have those type of physical players around him. And the lucky thing is, if he joins Real Madrid, our team is full of it. Tchouameni is a physical beast, Valverde is a physical beast, Bellingham is a physical beast, and they can protect Vitinha. So that is a positive sign with him joining Real Madrid. Now the question is, how would he even fit in our current team? So this is how I see it, and I'm gonna put this in a diamond formation. So I see Vitinha starting in CDM, Bellingham starting in central midfield, Valverde starting in central midfield, and then Arda Güler is gonna be the central attacking midfield. Now I know you're gonna ask, why is Tchouameni not on the pitch? Why is he not in the starting 11? He can still be put there. But I do think if we want to play the best passing, most creative football we can, play that midfield. Imagine how good Arda Güler and Vitinha will play next to each other. Both of them are creative experts. I'll say Arda Güler is better than him in the creative side. If you have the two of them in the same midfield, it's gonna be crazy. Like I'm telling you, Arda Güler has been our only creative midfielder this season. If he has a player like Vitinha next to him, he's only gonna become better. Our midfield is gonna become better. So I think Vitinha is a perfect signing for Real Madrid. And I think Florentino Perez, he knows what to do. Splash the money. Splash the money if you want to make a statement. Win the elections or whatever. I think he's going to win the elections anyways. But if you truly want to win the elections, sign Vitinha. João Neves would also be a good option, I'm not going to lie. And then, we also signed Konate. We signed Ibrahima Konate. And I watched this match for France yesterday against Ivory Coast. What in the world did we sign? This guy put on a stinker. This is exactly what I feared. Because at Liverpool, we even saw the laziness. We saw him lose concentration. And he conceded so many goals because of this. If he comes to Real Madrid and does the same stuff that he pulled off in this match, then we cooked. Konate was not a good signing, and I think he will sit on the bench if he plays like this. In Real Madrid, they're not like Liverpool. They're not going to play you even though you're playing terribly. I've also heard reports of Guardiola and Calafiori, and I don't know if either of them is a good option. If Guardiola was way cheaper, I would say sign him, but he's worth 70 million euros. Why would anyone want to spend that much? Calafiori is also a bit too expensive, and he's also not Madrid quality, and I don't think Real Madrid must sign either of them. But that is my thoughts. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section. Who do you think Real Madrid is gonna sign as the superstar signing? Smash like on the video because it helps me out, it helps the channel out. Subscribe if you have not subscribed yet. Peace out.